Directors President for Who Needs Sleep. I'm Devin Pike, and I'm the Executive Director of the charity. Where do we start with this?
I want you to start with where this came from.
Yeah.
I really want you to talk about the history, how this all came about, how you dreamed it up, and
She said
Fever dream, I think
Yes.
is more appropriate.
and kind of where you've been and how you're going forward with this.
No,
Your
no,
pod?
cash. In 2017, I was re-diagnosed with throat cancer. I went through it in 94, 95. I was in remission for a good 23 years. It came back with a vengeance, and I had an amazing support structure. It was not, it was not just people saying, "Oh, if there's anything I can do, let me know." They staged a benefit for me at Alma Draft House. They would just throw things at me.
Screen at Ferris wheel there.
It was with Alan Ruck, who pops up on screen and saying, "Devin Pike, you're my hero."
There were shirts.
There were tears. There were genuine tears. I was a very moody person. So it wasn't just people saying, "Hey, let me help you." It was actually people helping, and I would not have gotten through that had it not been for that amazing support structure. And I felt incredibly, humbled and gratified by it. And as I'm nearing the end of my treatment cycle, I want to do something to give back, not just to the people who had helped me, but to the community in general, because there are so many organizations in North Texas alone that assist cancer fighters and their families, and we, what's the one thing you say you love and hate? About 5 different people on our board of directors have said,
how the story starts.
yes.
It all started with a text message, and right around this time, November of 2017, I got a text message with the most dangerous thing Devin Pike could say. We've been friends now for over a decade, and it was, "Rob, I have an idea." And Devin knows when he says those words, you just tell me what we're gonna do, we're gonna do it.
I never take it for granted.
I appreciate that. So in 5 weeks, we put together the first 2 weeks sleep.
He was originally going to be 72 hours straight. I was
He's the
talked down
only
to
one.
36.
He's the only one that wanted to do 7 weeks.
I still think we can do it.
No, I can't. If the streak's gonna stay alive, I can't do 72.
But then it would have been called Who Needs Sleep and Cocaine.
Thank you. I wasn't going to make
the
the
cocaine trying to say alleged.
No, the phrase is I can neither confirm nor deny. So,
But we put the first show together in 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
And it was only supposed to be a one-off. Devin wanted to raise some funds for Cancer Support Communities North Texas and the Lymphoma Blackstone Award for Children's Fort Worth. And it was our technology partner, vocalmail.com, VOKL, who in hour 36 looked at Devin on live air and said, "Well, your hashtag's WNS17, what are you doing at 18?
And when the record stops and everybody just screeches and looks over at you. I'm sitting on, so we had a talk show set for the couches, and I'm just going, "Ted Price, I'm trying to do right now, but I'm not saying that because we're on air. All right, everybody get your phones out, let's look at the calendar," and
Oh no, that's not what happened. You just said we're just doing it on Labor Day week.
no, I have the video for it. I pulled it up. It's actually in our trailer for season 2. For our second year, it feels like a season. It takes us 9 years to put it together. So we are now in our 5th year. We are in our 2nd year of doing it at Music City Mall in Louisville. So we did it at Vocals Studios, which used to be the CBS building off of Mockingbird and 35, where I worked for a number of years, and Vocal was there in the first years that they were on air or online. They lost that space because CBS took it back. We bounced ideas for various venues. We finally found one for year 3. It took us forever. I think we were middle October before we actually
literally
found it.
felt.
Yeah, sincerely. So Rob says we should try malls. Actually, it wasn't just me. There were a bunch of people that we should try malls. We should try malls around the area, make it, immersive, have crowd interaction, be able to have a live audience, the whole shebang. Rob goes through Music City Mall in Louisville. If you lived in the area, it used to be Vista Ridge Mall, 35 and 121. Rob messages me 90 minutes after he walks through the mall, says, "We've got to get here. This is great. I've got a meeting with their promotions director."
Well, no, I had told you I see the potential here. I'm going to email them tomorrow to see what I can find out.
Right.
And Music City Mall and Cary over there, to their credit, I got an email back in less than 10 minutes that said, get here now, we're all in, let's go. So I called Devin, we set up a meeting. A 15-minute meeting ended up going 2 hours. Because Cary and Devin kind of connected because they both have a background in Dallas radio. And I just kind of sat back and watched it all. I was like, you kids go, I'll go on your team. So we put together year 4, and we set the meeting up 3 weeks before the World Cup. So then it became, how do we do the show without a studio audience because the world is broken and things are closing? The mall stood firm. Music City Mall, to its credit, completely stood firm. They are ride or die with us, let's go. We couldn't have the studio audience, but we are in a space called the Grand Stage, which is upstairs at the mall. It's an old express. So it's all glassed in. So you can still see what was going on without being in there.
And the great thing is we had our interview stage set up basically Today Show style, to where anybody walking by can go by, wave it, throw up a sign, John Christensen, whatever. And some did. And as we're setting it up, we wanted to have that flavor interactivity to it. So hour 2 rolls around of the telethon, and we had Carrie Williams on. She's the promotions director that we've been working with. But Carrie, maybe, I'm sorry, she got things. And Rob's away from the stage, and Carrie drops on me that Music City Mall wanted to be our official partner with a 5-year deal to be our venue. And that first year of the contract is this year. And it's actually a contract. They've signed the dotted line. And
she dropped it live on air.
yeah, you had no clue. It was great.
To be more specific, I was actually making sure the restrooms met current health codes. And when I came back, everybody was looking at me, and I'm like, what happened? She's like, well, she just said this thing that started with Rob doesn't know this yet, but. But she literally did, and we're so thankful that Music City Mall, because we've also helped them with a lot of different events over the year. We actually were part of their Malloween, which was their trick-or-treat on Halloween Sunday, and it was insane, the number of people that were there. It was a really big success. And it's called Music City Mall because they have live music every night and all day on the weekends. And so we're working with them with some of their musical acts as well. We're carrying their tree lighting, because that's what that weekend is when they light their tree.
And Santa will be visiting.
Santa will be on. We had Santa on remotely last year.
Santa warned Rob about me, like a year,
Oh.
on air. Says, and I quote, "You gotta watch out for that Devin Pike. He is on my naughty list." He said those words.
He knows you. He's Santa.
But the rest of the show, I mean, we take a page straight out of the Jerry Lewis Telethon playbook. It's a mix of music, of comedy, of interviews, panel discussions. It's a little geek-centric because that's what we are. We are geeks at heart. And our guest list has always been really, really stout. This year, I think we've not done ourselves a book.
We really have. When you look at the number of people that are stalwarts, that have done the show now, all 5 shows, and the people that have come out of the woodwork. I mean, just this weekend, I had the opportunity with our Vice President, Rachel Wimberly, to interview former Atlanta Braves great Steve Avery. Steve will be on the show this year. With the Braves just winning the World Series.
everybody's cancer journey is different. It's very unique, but there are things in common that every person who's gone through a cancer battle experiences. And we discuss that, over and over again with all of our guests.
And last year was the first year we had our official mascot, who's on your card in front of you. He is our owl. His name is Hootie. W. So please don't send us a cease and desist, Jerry Schrecker. And this year we had a very, very specific item that is going to be a collector's item or two that will be available this year for top bidders. And I'm going to give that to you because you're the one who booked it.
Well, I'm a massive fan of tiki culture. I love Polynesian tiki culture. I'm a massive fan of the bar Swizzle here in Dallas. And the person who does the custom mugs for Swizzle, her name's Tiki Cascadera. Well, she approached, she and I have been friendly for a while, and she says, I could do a tiki mug of Hootie. And you have my undivided attention. So she is hand sculpting these mugs as we speak. And we will be debuting it. She's making 3. One is going to go to China, so we can make more for next year. But the first 2 are going to they'll pull about 10 items. Some of them are vacation things, some of them are gift baskets, and 2 of them are the Hootie mugs. And these things are gorgeous. We've been posting them on our social, everything, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, it's all WNS Telethon. So we've been posting the photos of as things have gone along. So you'll see, and by the way, Scott McCall is the person who's done our logo for the last few years.
Shout out to Scott McCall.
Scott's an amazing artist. So Hootie is holding a coffee mug because Hootie can sleep.
Yeah.
The Hootie Tiki mug has a tiny cup of, it's not coffee though, it's a jet bottle.
And he's also got a circle.
He does. So I can't wait to see this thing in person, and I'm gonna get to see it for the first time along with everybody else on the live stream. So the whole thing, by the way, we are 36 hours live, so it is 8 a.m. Central on Saturday, December 4th through 8 p.m. on Sunday, December 5th. So it's 36 hours straight. It is, we are there through the whole 36 hours. We are, hanging in there with the audience. We hope that everybody else hangs out with us and doesn't. I feel like we kind of buried the lead on that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
I want to circle back to something you mentioned.
Your show, please.
You mentioned about Jerry Lewis and his famous telethon. With it not being around anymore, do you feel like this is the perfect time to do what you guys are doing?
I think that, not only that, but I am a massive fan of variety shows. And even though Patrick Harris tried to bring it back, it wasn't really met that well because it was more earnest than I think modern audiences like.
Right.
But that mix of entertainment and altruism is extremely potent.
Right.
So when you have the opportunity to do that, and when I go to people and I say, hey, will you be on our show? Hey, would you be interested in doing a 30-minute interview? Hey, would you be interested in doing an hour-long musical set? They always say yes, it's just a matter of making it work. But if you give people if you give entertainers specifically the opportunity to do something good that actually helps people down the road, they'll do it at the drop of a hat.
Sure.
And I think people need to be reintroduced to that concept of the variety show, of the 36 hours of everything.
Well, I mentioned that because I think that's kind of a staple of our childhood.
That was going to be the next thing I was going to talk about, absolutely.
Yeah, let's face it, there's not a household that didn't have the telethon on Labor Day weekend.
But I think the problem then, or the problem now, well, it's not a problem, it's an opportunity for us, is there's so much out there. Good God, we're racing through every single title that's on Netflix, Hulu, Disney, all the rest of it. It's not just 87 channels and nothing on, like Springsteen said. Now it's 500 channels and all the streaming services you subscribe to, and there's still nothing on. While we're waiting for Squid Game Season 2 and Boba Fett. But I really think that I think the time's right for it. And when we were doing it online, it's always been online at communitysleep.org, the whole shebang. And, we tried to find a broadcast partner, they're not interested, whatever. So people weren't usually interested in watching something on a computer unless they were forced to. Now, after the world's broke, it's like, oh, I can watch this on my computer. Oh, I can stream this on Chromecast, that's my TV.
Well,
I can put this on Apple TV.
Maybe it's just because at that nurture, we've been doing it for years, but there isn't anyone that doesn't work remotely at home that doesn't have something in the background. And if you're in our industry, you're usually watching screeners in the background.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry when there's a film festival and you drop a list of screeners, you just try to do as many as you can before you do interviews. So I think a variety show, whether
Well,
it's,
it really
it's
is,
kind of the same
what
thing.
we try when we program is to really make something for everybody. You've got music, you've got comedy, you've got interviews, you've got game shows, you've got general chicanery. Especially
Usually
in the
between
overnight.
midnight and 6 a.m.
Which is why we've decided we're gonna do a lot of best stuff in the overnight now.
But we don't have to, never have to shut the best of out because we've got more content we've got to run.
And
I'm happy about it.
we're surrounded by such talented people too, not just the people that you're gonna see on the cards in front of you, but the people that are with this organization year round. It's such an amazing, talented group of people that are also our friends. So it's like we're living Wayne's World on a much bigger scale. If we could do this in a basement, we would. And
I'm sure we could find that.
oh, Texas is very big.
basement in Texas.
It's not a true basement until Tom Hanks tests the mic.
But it's also, if you know anything about me, I'm Batman obsessed. And that is the one weekend, as Devin would say, we bury the lead. I usually don't talk about it until he does, but that's the one weekend of the year that I'm totally starting. Because I am the Iron Man. I am the only person all 4 years that has been awake all 36 hours. I do not recommend it.
Well.
I am not 23 anymore and cramming for finals, but
He made me email him the actual hours that I am going to be asleep.
Oh.
He forced me. You did.
I would have to confirm that.
I have the proof. I have a
The
receipt.
Sixth Amendment to our Constitution.
Yeah.
But
But he does have the Iron Man trophy, and I want him to not have it for the 5th year, and he's a massive hypocrite this one. Massive.
I say that at every meeting, like, I know that this is do as they say, not as I do. But it also makes for a good program.
It does.
But like starting day 2, we're actually going to have, just like we did last year, we have an hour of yoga, which is really good in the breakfast hour on day 2. I've been up for 26 hours straight. There's literally something for everybody, which is what I love about what we do. And the fact that we got this list of people on this card, you've got guys from NST3K that are going to be part of this. We've got a really cool game show that if you've never seen Cast Off, check out MatthewHeroes.com. I will be in one of those roundups where we're given a movie, and we're given 7 roles within that movie, and we have to recast this movie with anybody in history.
Oh.
Myself and my podcast co-host and one of my closest friends, Alex Barnhill, we just recorded ours yesterday, where we will be recasting Kingsman: The Golden Circle with The King's Man coming out. It's just cool stuff like that. Devin's going to be hosting Super Fight, which is put 2 people at a table and you draw a card, and that card could be the Millennium Falcon, it could be the TARDIS, and then you have to make the case of how your item would be the other item that they ever came to
It's the old sandbox thing. The Death Star can take out the Enterprise. Oh yeah, well prove it.
There will be an 8-person tournament that will work over the entire telethon. We have amazing musical acts. Delta Ray's returning again, a great blues band. They're going to be on early this year, which I like, because it'll be in good hours.
Be a nice jolt to get us going.
Yes, sir. Remy Riley. Follow her on your social media. That kid's amazing.
She's our good luck charm.
She really is. She always closes the show for us until we do the actual physical close. Chance Munsterman, who is one of the most talented individuals I've ever met in my life.
And introduced us.
Yes, he's the reason we know each other. She's the reason we know each other. He had some really cool stuff that we're not ready to talk about yet.
We still can't talk about
He hasn't told me I can. I need express written permission from Major League Baseball.
Fair enough.
But very cool things at Chanson, and he's with us every year as well. Sean Cole, who is immensely talented, he will be with us again this year.
And for the first time, we have the Thin White Dukes, which is a local David Bowie tribute band.
Nice.
Oh, my.
Organized by Bobby Hook, he's got all these amazing bands around town like The Cure and Prima Donna. But Bobby is going through his cancer fight right now. So it's only fitting that we have that on for our first
So we'll
time.
be recording that this weekend.
Yes, out of Lee Harvey's. If you're a sports fan, last year we had Voices of the Stadium. So we had Baseball Hall of Famer Chuck Morgan. We had Jeff Kay, who's the in-house voice for the Stars.
2 years ago is where it started.
Well, 2 years ago we tried to get everybody together then in year 3, but all we had was Jeff Kay and Chuck Morgan. Last year we had Jeff Kay, Chuck Morgan, Sean Heath from the Mavericks, and Bruce. If you're
Rocky River, shout out.
yes, he was the musical director for the Texas Rangers. So this year we went bigger, and if you are a fan of the Cowboys, you know who Brad Shannon is. If you're a fan of the Rangers, you know who Eric Mandel is, also a Baseball Hall of Famer.
Yes, sir.
Mark Followill, who is the TV voice for the Dallas Mavericks,
Okay.
and I'm doing this off the top of my head, Josh Bogorad from the Dallas Stars. So we have all 4 of them on a panel discussion, and I have it slated for an hour. There's no way this thing doesn't go more than that. You can't put these 4 people in a room or in a Zoom room together because Eric's on vacation, but thank God for Zoom at this point.
So we did about what? 50% of our program.
I got 2 questions. I'm going to work my nerd question in, and it's
Please.
something that's brand new for you two because you guys know me. So, but the first one is getting back to the Jerry Lewis Telethon. What's the one thing you absolutely stole from that you worked into this? Because I know there's got to at least be something.
What haven't we stolen from that?
Okay,
Look, we steal more as we go along.
This is not intentional.
It is true, and we're not going to show the David Clown Fry or anything, but the rest of it we're stealing. The show opened this year. We ripped that right out of the Jerry Lewis playbook.
Last year we were King of Stars.
That's true.
Because it was episode 4.
It was. This year, we have a voiceover bringing us out of breaks. That's going to be straight out of it.
Shout out Jason Massey.
Yes, we will have a. We debated doing a running tote board because
right.
we don't want people to think we're not doing well when it's early and we don't have it, but we have what we have. And we actually have a really good start on the 2021 campaign where we can already start with a good number and keep that number going.
Okay.
So this year we will have at least on a crawl, and then at the top of every hour we'll do updates as well. But yeah, we steal so much from Jerry. I'm amazed we haven't gotten a C&D from him. We've gotten C&Ds from other people, but not from Jerry's stuff. No.
Nice. So here's my nerd question for you in relation to doing a telethon. 2, each of you get to name 2. I want to know the ultimate nerd guest that you would like to see in this program in the future. Give me 2 names that would be your ultimate that you wish you could get.
I would love to have J. Michael Straczynski, who is the writer and director of Babylon 5.
Okay?
And I would love to have Mark Hamill. because both of them have so many, I wouldn't have to do any pre-gaming for it. It would just be, these are questions I want answered.
Right. And I will just go ahead and say before Rob answers, the correct answer is Mark Campbell. If either one of you screwed that one up.
And if you think that I have not put offers out to them each and every year, then you don't know me.
Yeah, I figured.
You ask until they say no, or until they say we can't,
Right.
or until they don't say anything. If they
Right.
don't say anything, I just try harder.
Rob?
Both of mine have the same first name. Kevin Smith, Kevin Conroy.
Nice.
I need to interview Batman, which will be weird because then you will see me and Batman in the same place at the same time.
Conroy's the we can get Conroy.
I would love that. If you've never heard Kevin Conroy tell his 9/11 story,
Yeah.
it is one of the most, and I would have, even though I've heard it, I would have him tell it again because he's a dude that gets it. Like Kevin Smith and Kevin Conroy get it on different levels.
Right.
Like Kevin gets the fans. Kevin Smith gets the fan experience. Kevin Conroy gets the fan service.
Right.
And I've been a huge fan of both of those guys for like a good chunk of my life now. But yeah, those would be my two gets.
And I hate this to be an all dudes party of 5, but give me Keanu Reeves. Bring me the mustache of Keanu Reeves. That'd be a great guy.
We had that kind of conversation last year when we were reviewing Cyberpunk 2077, and we were like, it's not as bad despite the numerous updates they got to do. And we're like, he's the one person that we just want to smoke a joint with. He's at the top of our list.
We can neither confirm or deny.
Yeah, allegedly. But we just want to hang out with him.
Fantastic things.
I mean,
Dang, well, Elijah Wood would be another great one.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Just keep naming guys and I'll just keep saying.
Tara Strong.
Tara
Strong would be Ashley Eckstein. She was just in
She
town.
was just in town as well.
yeah, I was
busy, I couldn't go.
Yeah, I didn't.
I would have asked her then, but she's got a personal cancer story too.
Well, I have to know, since you're such a big Batman fan,
Yes, ma'am.
have you been to Steven Seagal's house?
I have not. Would I kick him out and lock the doors?
Yes. So in his personal office, he has a bat cave.
Yeah.
He pushes a button, a door slides open.
Does he have
smoke,
is
lights
it
go off.
the Shakespeare bust?
No, it's not. But it is an exact, he had made by the same costumer who did the original Batman.
Who is this?
Steven Stockfield.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he pushed a button, sound effects, light, fog, as it reveals the bat suit, and you go upstairs, and he has an entire room of just Batman stuff.
That's my guess at that point.
But
It's definitely not at that level, but my guess at that.
every inch of the room is covered, including a giant cake that was made for him one year that is Batman, and they kept it and stuck it in the middle of the room.
Wow, Thought really does last forever.
It does. Yeah.
Even the skyline, so, we had the alumni thing and it only took me like 2 seconds to be in the room to go, wow, there's a lot of bad shit in here.
How long have we known him? And this is just 11 years. Yeah.
But I,
Somehow you gotta get over it, because you
I've got-
would freak out.
They'll need to put a cattle prod next to him, and it's like,
Yeah.
don't touch it.
Yeah.
Unlimited resources, huge chip on the shoulder, no powers.
there you go.
That's it.
Okay, so my question is, how can the audience participate with y'all? In what way?
Okay, so the biggest way obviously is to hit whoneedsleep.org and have it bookmarked. Donate. We have a bunch of different ways you can donate. You can either donate through our Facebook fundraisers, which again is the WNS Telethon. Our merch store is all done through Bonfire with the amazing logo. Not only that, but also all of our previous logos as well. Matthew Warlick, DJ Kaufman, both of the Scott McCalls. And then during the actual telethon itself, we've got people who are manning all of our social channels and being able to respond to any questions they have about the children's and donate.
We will also be Facebook Living backstage. It's like, also, we are on Amazon Smile. So if you do not have a charity hooked up to your Amazon Smile, it doesn't cost you anything more. If you don't know what that program is, there are just certain items you can purchase that they will give a donation to Who Needs Sleep if you purchase those items.
And we are a 501c3 charity, so any donations are tax deductible, so if that's your jam, then you're better.
The only other question I have is, what is the best way to get an embed code so I can put it on that nerdshow.com?
No, that's not me, that's a Ted question, because, and.
Oh, for the stream?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll take the tech.
Yeah,
Now, okay, but last year, I can add, there is a YouTube stream that's going to be going out concurrently. So you can do the embed of the live player.
Okay, so it will be on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, because we just want to throw it up throughout the
Maybe on
weekend
our
as a lot. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so tell us why you picked Cook Children.
Cook Children's does amazing work that is local. All of the money raised for the Cook Children's in Fort Worth stays in Fort Worth. And every single dollar that is donated to Cook Children's goes directly into childcare and the child experience when they're going through treatment. I toured their facility. I toured 2 or 3 times, and they were actually able to point to this was 100% bought by donations. This was corporate donations, but it still was, done through donor dollars. It's not something where there are some charities where if you donate, some of it might go to patient care, some of it might go to patient experience, but some of it also goes to salaries. That's not the case with anything that's donated through Who Needs Sleep. 100% goes to child cancer treatment, specifically cancer treatment. The Rheumatology and Oncology Ward in Cook Children's is groundbreaking. They've made several discoveries while rolling out treatments there that have gone worldwide and have assisted with cancer treatment for anybody who is going through a specific kind of cancer or for cancer treatment in general. So our goal every year is to find a charity that specifically keeps the dollars going to the cancer fighters and their families, 100%.
And then keeping it in North Texas has also always been